What's going on, y'all? Episode 194. 194 episodes of What's up, Flobo? Yo, this is a show where we get to hang out and chat and talk about stuff, which is interesting because it feels like I talk about a lot of stuff, but this is supposed to be more of like just me chilling, me not trying to give you the thing or the review or the interview or just me hanging out with you guys. If you guys have not already, youtube.com/Flobo Boyce. That's where you're pretty much watching this. Drop a subscribe if you have not already. If you're just coming here lurking and not hitting that subscribe button, help me out. And it's the Christmas season. You know, it makes a good gift. Some merch. Do yourself a favor. Check out flobito.threadless.com and get some swag. We're talking about shirts. I had my Flobito hoodie, the number one contender hoodie, flying off the shelves for a certain time for that Black Friday. Make sure you hit it up. Flobito.threadless.com. So, as I said on last week's episode about ending After Hours, which was a spinoff of this show, it actually happened. This past Monday, November 22nd, 2021, will be a day that will live in infamy. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's way more dramatic. I wanted just to walk you through that feeling. You know, there is something interesting about having a web show from your house because it's something that's kind of informal. You know, you flip a switch, hit a record, and you're on. And for a lot of the interviews I do, that's how I feel. It's not like a nervousness or anticipation, but this one was different. On Monday nights, I usually watch wrestling from my other job, but it's about a 2 hour grace period between that and the after hours show. And when I first started out, it was like pacing the room and going over my jokes and all that stuff. And then as I got comfortable with it, it was kind of like, well, I'm going to play video games for 90 minutes. This Monday was interesting. I had half a mind to record it for Patreon, did not. But it was like me just thinking, oh man, it's the last one. Is there anything I wanted to say? Is there any questions I wanted to ask? Anything I wanted to be deep? Do I want to reveal anything? Do I want to make it super special? And I said, on the caution side of no, just do the regular episode. It'll be special on its own. But that was interesting. Just going back to the early days or the prime days when I first had the guests, like episode 8 to episode 30, where it was like I have a guest, what we're talking about, do I have enough questions, what happens if I don't have enough questions, that kind of like anticipation. And when we went live, it was fun. You know, I got Evan Mack finally to stay up till 1 a.m. to do it. Jack Farmer's been on the show the most times. I actually counted, he's been on the show 5 times. Two solo and 3 with another guest. So it was kind of cool to have the OG Jack there. And Leslie is always a pleasure. My prima, my cousin, on the show, and George Hermosa got on the last back half, and we had some fun. We talked about Thanksgiving, talked about holidays. We all have this professional wrestling connection, but it was kind of cool to not talk about wrestling because for a lot of us, it's become our job, and there's a lot of wrestling to watch. I mean, there's literally wrestling on every day of the week, and it's kind of hard to not be seen as that person. So it's kind of cool to have that discourse and talk about the things, music, the holidays, like I said, just being themselves. Played a brand new game. I think I do a fresh game on the way out. This one was called, we can't call it Price is Right, so we call it The Cost is Correct. It was kind of fun. It was definitely one I was like, this could either be really fun or really dumb. And I think when something's fun/dumb ends up being the best things. I always say this, my song Alone in the Club was super dumb, but it became super fun. Super. And that was interesting. And at the end of it all, just being able to say, you know, thank everyone for coming out. It takes a lot to build a community online and to get everyone on a Monday night at 10 p.m. Pacific. I say that's the worst time for everyone. It's 10 p.m. Pacific, which is already late. 1 a.m. Eastern, which is even later, and 6 a.m. British Standard Time, which is no one's up for that. So it really is a night show. And to have, I think this Monday we had up to 20 people in the chat concurrent, which is a lot for me personally. It just meant a lot that they were ready to send this off. And of course, there was a whole like, what do you do now? What's going to happen now? And I really don't know. But I do know with Monday Night Live not being an option right now, with after hours cancellation and the 6 to 10 hours a week it took me to make an episode happen, now I'm free to do other things. I get to travel and use Monday as a travel day if I want. If I want to go back on stage, I can use Monday night as an open mic night if I want. Whether or not I do is still up for debate. I'm still on this giant summer hiatus when it comes to comedy. But that extra night means something. And since my days are earlier on Tuesdays now, I don't have to be up at 1 o'clock cutting the audio version of this podcast or of that podcast. So it definitely opens it up on that. I'm not sure what's going to happen after hours, but it was a very nice little slice of the pandemic, and it kind of grew like how the pandemic grew, with the first couple episodes just me in a dark space. It felt like I was in the beginnings of that pandemic, where we were just like, oh, is it, can we go outside? Can we look outside? Why does outside feel so quiet? And then it got a little bit more of a social distance gathering. We're outside in the park kind of vibe with the first 25 episodes. And then when season 2 started, basically when I booked Ariana Madix and I revamped the design of it, it felt like it was opened up again. So it really felt like it was an open show that you can go outside if you want, you can come home if you want. It was kind of as open as that. So if you guys have the time, go back and watch those early episodes. There is a lot of growth in there. And the lighting got changed, the design got changed, the intro got changed. It became like this project to show as a proof of concept that I can do it. But on top of that, it was so much fun to be able to do something closer to what the dream is. And so it's a capsule, 70 episodes plus one finale, sits right in a year one in review special, a clip show. Sits there on that playlist. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Not sure I'm going to make super cuts. Not sure I'm going to make clips or sequels or spinoffs. People ask me would I bring it back. I would say on 2 conditions. I was like, maybe one, if it's a live show in a live space, like it's just live streamed, like a theater show where an actual audience. Or 2, if I get I got The Rock or Oprah or Tony Danza, and they're like, no, we don't want to do a stuffy, quote unquote, stuffy art and culture interview. When we have something loose and fun, I would resurrect After Hours as one-off specials for The Rock, Oprah, or Tony Danza. Let's be real. Let's even Meghan Markle. I'd be like, nah, sorry, Meghan, I can't do it. But Tony Danza, I mean, whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So what the future holds, I don't know. Extra nights open to try new things. I know comedy's calling me. It's like you've been playing hooky. Get back to it. I'm not sure where that's going to be, but I have an extra day to do that, or at least travel for gigs outside of LA if I do get those bookings later on. So thank you so much for your support, for checking out that episode or any other episodes of that show. For a long time, it still is one of my favorites. It's one of the flagships of this network. But it was time. It's time to get out of here. Time to try new things. So when people go, oh man, I didn't know you had your own late night talk show, or you wrote books, or you did all of this other things, I can say, yeah, I can have the time to do that now because that chapter is closed for now. So yeah. I am done talking up all in your ear holes. This is What's Up, Flobo, episode 194. Episode 200 is looking to be the first week of January. Got something in the works for that, so stick around and stay tuned. I am out of here. I have another call today. It's Thanksgiving Eve here in that United States, and so I want to make sure everything's cleared away, because even though I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, everyone finds that day sacred, and you really can't get work done there at all. I do need to pick up some flour from the store, but I might just call it a wash, because who goes to the store on Thanksgiving Eve? You're just asking to be elbowed in the face. That does it for me. Do yourself a favor, call your mama, high five a friend, and get your Christmas list ready, because Black Friday is going to be beastly this year.